Hey there, been keeping super busy around here, and let me show you some of the stuff I've been up to. So this is the big thing that we got done, was getting this tunnel up, and we haven't done the end walls yet, but we got the rest of the construction done. The purlin is all secured, the wind bracing, the wiggle wire, got the plastic up and the ropes and everything. And the biggest struggle we've had this month has been the rain. We've gotten so much rain. It is just so wet out here. And so we were gonna get this plastic up in a few weeks, but we figured let's get the plastic up, have it start drying out now. I have had the chickens in here. You can see there's pretty much nothing growing in here, and we might move them back in here for a little bit until we can start building beds, but I still gotta put end walls on here. And at the end of the tunnel, we gotta fill in a little bit more dirt and deal with some of the drainage over there, some of the ditches and just the lay of the land here. The first one was a lot more level, you know, on the hill here, but this just needs a little bit more groundwork down at the end. But really happy to get this up, and I'll probably move the chickens in here for a little bit until, you know, we're ready to start building beds in here. Chickens are doing pretty well. I know some of you guys have been asking about this, and when they are done clearing out the second tunnel, I'll be thinking about getting rid of them, which will probably be pretty soon. I think they're almost done with that job. And I know a lot of you guys are asking me why I'm getting rid of my chickens, and I have talked about this in previous videos, but the main reason is just trying to simplify my life. I have so much going on, and I think one less chore, one less thing to think about is going to be helpful. And there are a lot of benefits of keeping chickens at your property. They can clear land, you know, they give you eggs, they eat waste. Like, I'm going to miss some of that stuff, but the reality is I just want to have less things that I'm in charge of and responsible for, so I can focus on all the other things. So I've had chickens here for a few years now, and I think it's time for me not to have chickens for a little while. Also, a lot of the grassy areas in my backyard here, but that it's not being used for production, I want to actually be grass for my family and just kind of have a backyard and a lawn. And I'm not going to be obnoxious about keeping my lawn, but I do want to just have some grass growing and just keep some open space. I think it'll be really nice. So that's the plan with these guys. Otherwise, they're doing pretty well. Another thing is Gene finished up building all the compost bins, so we got all those side pieces on, all the front slats. It's all looking really solid, a lot of capacity. Really excited to have this all set up for the season. If you haven't got a chance to check out those videos, I did 2 videos. One was Gene explaining how this whole system works and also how to build these. I'll leave links down below for those videos. Let me show you what's going on in the tunnel. Hopefully you guys saw the last vlog all about what's going on in here, but basically we got 5 beds all prepped, amended, and planted in here, and probably the goal for today, or at least in the next few days, is to get the other 3 beds in here done so that we can start focusing on other projects and we get these plants. I have some transplants that need to go on the ground in here. So that's the plan for today, is try to get as much done here as we possibly can. We're using this kind of as a staging area for the back half of the tunnel. So we're gonna clear this out and get rolling. So like usual, we're gonna broad fork, put down cardboard, wet it down, put compost in the beds, and wood chips in the walkways. One more bed done, 2 more to go. G and Dave are crushing it out here today. I think we should be able to get this done. Also have a bunch more wood chips put in here, but hopefully this will be all finished up today. Well, we're getting these beds built out here, and kind of a different strategy in the tunnel here, and also just, I don't know, good for tight spaces. And in the past, it's sort of done 1 bed at a time and kind of bring in the material from the side. But because it's so tight in here, the thing we found to be the best is just working from one end down. And the last 2 beds, we're just doing both at once, just because it gets so tight in here, especially with these narrow walkways. And so we don't lay out the cardboard too far, because when you're running it over with the wheelbarrow, you start to destroy it, and then you have to go back and patch it. So we're also filling with wood chips as we go this time, and it works out pretty well. And having Gene and Dave here, I built a lot of beds with them, so they're really efficient, and we all work together really well. So we're getting this going pretty quickly. And I also just want to take a minute to talk about something really cool, and that Jesse Frost, who you probably know from the No-Till Market Garden podcast and No-Till Growers, one of my good friends and also colleagues, is coming out with a new book, and it just got announced, and it will be out this summer. And right now, if you'd like to pre-order it, I would go to notillgrowers.com, and I'll put a link down below for the book. And partly, if you buy through No-Till Growers, some of the profits will go to No-Till Growers to help provide more content. So instead of, you know, giving your money to Amazon, you can give it to No-Till Growers here, and the book will be the same price. So go check that out. Super excited about it. He's been working on this for a long time and really working his butt off, and it's going to be incredible. And of course, it's about no-till farming, soil biology and health, starting a farm, interplanting, all that kind of nerdy stuff that you guys love. So I definitely recommend you guys go and pre-order that book. That would be great. Otherwise, gonna get back to building these beds. Hopefully we'll get this done pretty soon. We got these 3 beds done. Looks so good. Big thanks to Gene and Dave for helping out today. Those guys are incredible. I know I say that all the time, but especially on bed building days, there's a lot of stuff you can do by yourself, but really having some people help you is really important for morale, for energy, for just getting things done, all that kind of stuff. And having this tunnel all built out feels so great. These three beds here that we just built today, these are gonna get planted out probably in a week or so. I have some lettuce. Hopefully, maybe you guys can see in the background here, that little bit of green right there. There's some lettuce trays out there hardening off. I just put them out today, so those will go in the ground, plus some green onions. So this will get fully planted out. And as I said, I'm not gonna worry about the irrigation for a while because it's winter time. You really don't have to water that much. The beds I watered a few days down in there, a few days ago, are still moist, so you don't need a ton of watering in the winter time, but we'll get around to that. And then the other tunnel, we're gonna do the same thing, build 8 more beds in there. And that should be pretty much good for the build out for the year. I don't know how much more I'm gonna have time to manage, and also what the demand's gonna be for my products. So we're gonna roll with that. So 16 48-foot beds should be great. Should be able to grow a ton of food because it's all undercover, which is fantastic. And I just feel like things are getting checked off the list right now. This was a big check mark for me, was getting the beds built in here, and that feels awesome. And so a lot more coming up, and you guys, I've talked about some of this stuff before, but of course getting this tunnel finished, end walls, beds built, planted, get the irrigation set up in these 2 tunnels. And I'll give you a sneak peek about that. I haven't talked much about this, but we're gonna do drip and overhead in both tunnels, and we're gonna have 4 zones. So each half of the tunnel will have its own drip and overhead system, so I'll have complete control. I just wanna have the most flexibility and control I possibly can have so I can maximize my yield in these tunnels, and that's really the goal here, is to grow as much food as I possibly can in a super small space. So other stuff coming up, I talked about redoing my wash station. I have some cool things in store there, and I'll get to that when I get to that. And then the greenhouse for the nursery, I have one ordered, and I will tell you guys about that. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really special, so it's gonna be something a little bit different. And so those are all the things coming up, and kind of a short one today, but please go pre-order Jesse's book. You won't be disappointed, and help support no-till growers at the same time. Again, link down below. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you in the next one.